Idina Menzel's latest project has her climbing to new heights.
I call it the sing and swing.
From here I see it all, and I never knew that this world could look so small.
The Tony Award winner stars in the new musical Redwood. The original work was done in collaboration with director, book writer, and co-lyricist Tina Landau. They say the seed for the idea was planted nearly a decade ago.
It's been like nothing else I've ever worked on. Tina has been collaborating with me for over 10 years on this project, and she's the visionary behind the whole thing.
We met, as she said, a decade plus ago to talk about some idea that had to do with something about a woman in a tree.
Trees.
Yes, trees.
Yeah.
People who live in trees.
People who live in trees,
People
of
who
course.
live in trees and who protest the logging companies that are trying to cut them down. People who escape from their lives.
Yeah.
Who go to nature to find healing.
People like Julia Butterfly Hill, who provided some inspiration for this piece. In the 1990s, Hill camped out atop a redwood tree she named Luna for 738 days to save it from loggers. Her activism chronicled in the documentary Adventures in Tree Sitting.
Something had stuck with us both about a woman in a tree, and it was a kind of working backwards from there to figure out, why is that compelling? Why do we both hold on to that? What is it about that mysterious figure's resilience or journey or backstory? And it was really building out from that was how the piece came to be.
A unique story that required a unique sound. Broadway newcomer, composer, and co-lyricist Kate Diaz was asked to join the team.
I got an email from Tina like 4 years ago. From what I've been told, you guys were looking for a composer who wasn't from the theater space, who might do something a little different. And yeah, I was immediately just struck by the story and Tina's description of the visuals. And I come from kind of pop rock songwriting, but also film TV scoring.
And that's part of why we gravitated towards Kate, is she lived in both of those worlds, and we discovered she could write the big cinematic, majestic moment and the very contained pop or whatever ballad intimacy, and the contrast of those two scales was really important to us.
What was the first assignment you got from them to write for Redwood?
There's going to be a big song when Idina's character Jessie reaches the top of the redwood for the first time. And you had sent an image of this woman like at the top of a redwood tree looking down everything below, which I found to be really inspiring. And so I wrote Great Escape.
Far away from the pain, I'll stay, and I'll make my great escape.
Speaking of trees and climbing, getting to the top, I mean, this is a very physical part for you. And you are killing it on that
Thank
stage,
you.
not just vocally, but also physically. What kind of training did you do for this?
One of Tina's dreams was to find a dance troupe, a choreographer, someone who could help us bring to life the way we would move in the trees, the way the climbers would climb, but not just literally. It would have a poetic, sort of abstract quality.
I just knew people had to go up and down, and that we didn't want to do it mechanically or by engineering, that the idea from the get-go was they'll learn how to climb. And this company, Bandaloop, who we found, who does vertical choreography.
On the side of like mountains, buildings, trees.
Yeah, they really had both the technical know-how and the poetic sensibility to be able to take climbing and flying and being in the air from something pedestrian to something of poetry.
They're based in Oakland. They have their own studios. And so, well, first I climbed with them. We actually, the
Like
three of us.
in the forest?
Yes.
First we went to they brought us out.
So cool.
Yeah. And then I'd go out there for training sessions to learn how to band a loop. It's like returning to my childhood, my innocence in a way, just sort of being able to play up there. But they also taught us, they certified us as climbers, and we take our safety very seriously.
Lock and carabiner.
2 plates and a physical check.
Ooh, yeah.
Idina, you are known in the musical theater to play these strong, strong women. You know, I think of Elphaba, I think of Maureen Johnson, and even Elsa, you know, in Frozen. But I feel like we're seeing different colors with Jessie.
She's going through something, an upheaval in her life, and she's really good at using her humor and denial to deflect. All she wants to do is escape and be alone and be in silence. And she thinks that being in this tree is going to bring her all that, this solitude. And as many of us probably experience, you can't escape the chaos and the voices and whatever it is that you're feeling.
We can try to run away and bury our head in the sand, but ultimately, where the gift is in a return to the world and an acknowledgement of the ways in which we're connected.
Is there a message you want people to take away after they see Redwood? Is there something you just want them to think about, hold in their heart?
We love the root system that the Redwoods have. They're not what you would think. People would probably assume they go really deep into the ground in order to counterbalance the height of the Redwoods, but they're actually really shallow, and they kind of clasp hands, or you like to say like their arms, and they hydrate and sustain each other and hold each other up. You know, I think in this climate that we're living in right now, I think we could all use the Redwoods as a great metaphor for how we want to live our lives.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.